Keanu Reeves, he's one of the most beloved actors of our time. A man who has survived personal tragedies that would have broken most people, yet emerged with his kindness intact. He starred in some of the biggest blockbusters in cinema history, but he's also experienced crushing failures that nearly ended his career. From a nomadic childhood to becoming one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, his journey is one of resilience, humility, and quiet determination. So let's take a look at the remarkable story of a man who has proven that success isn't measured in dollars, but in the impact you have on the people around you. Keanu Charles Reeves was born on September 2nd, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon. His first name means cool breeze over the mountains in Hawaiian, a fitting name for a man who would become known for his calm demeanor. His father was a geologist of Hawaiian and Chinese descent, and his mother was an English costume designer who worked with rock stars like Alice Cooper. When Keanu was just 3 years old, his parents divorced, and his father abandoned the family. Reeves never reconnected with his biological father. His mother took him and his younger sister Kim to Sydney, then New York City, and finally settled in Toronto, where Keanu would spend most of his formative years. His mother remarried several times, including to a Broadway director named Paul Aaron, whose connections in the entertainment industry sparked young Keanu's interest in acting. In high school, Reeves struggled academically. He attended 4 different high schools, one of which focused on the arts. But while his grades suffered, he excelled at 2 things: ice hockey and drama. As a goalie, he earned the nickname The Wall for his ability to stop pucks. However, his love of acting won out, and he eventually dropped out of school to pursue his dream. Before finding success, Reeves worked various odd jobs to support himself, including sharpening ice skates, landscaping, and even managing a pasta shop. Reeves made his professional acting debut in 1984 in an episode of the Canadian television series Hangin' In. He then appeared in several TV movies before making his film debut in the 1986 hockey drama Youngblood, where he played a goalie opposite Rob Lowe. For this role, he earned a modest $3,000. His next significant project was the 1986 film River's Edge, which earned him critical attention for his portrayal of a troubled teenager. But it was his role as Ted Logan in the 1989 science fiction comedy Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure that brought him mainstream recognition. The film became a cult classic, and Reeves reportedly earned $95,000 for his performance. He reprised the role in the 1991 sequel Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, cementing his status as a rising star. The year 1991 was a pivotal one for Reeves. He starred in 3 films that showcased his range as an actor. First, he played an FBI agent in Catherine Bigelow's action thriller Point Break, which became a box office success. Then came Gus Van Sant's critically acclaimed drama My Own Private Idaho, where he played a wealthy street hustler alongside River Phoenix. The 2 actors had become close friends, with Reeves even riding his motorcycle 1,300 miles from Toronto to Florida to convince Phoenix to take the role. During filming, they would stay up late jamming music in the director's garage and discussing philosophy. Phoenix once said of Reeves, "He's like my older brother, but shorter." Tragically, that friendship was cut short. On October 31st, 1993, River Phoenix died of a drug overdose outside a Hollywood nightclub. He was just 23 years old. Reeves was devastated. At the time, he was filming Speed with Sandra Bullock, and his co-star later recalled, "I watched how Keanu grieved, and oh, did he grieve for his friend." He's very private, but he couldn't hide that. To this day, Reeves refuses to speak of Phoenix in the past tense. In a 2021 interview, he said, "It's weird speaking about him in the past, so I almost always got to keep it present. He was a really special person. Inspirational. Miss him." Despite his grief, Reeves continued working. Speed, released in 1994, became a massive hit, grossing over $350 million worldwide and establishing him as a bona fide action star. His first $1 million paycheck came from this film, netting him $1.2 million. The success of Speed led to offers for a sequel, but Reeves turned down an $11 million payday because he didn't like the script. This decision demonstrated a pattern that would define his career: prioritizing artistic integrity over money. After Speed, Reeves appeared in a string of films with mixed results. Johnny Mnemonic and Chain Reaction were commercial disappointments. A Walk in the Clouds performed modestly, but The Devil's Advocate in 1997 proved that Reeves could hold his own alongside Hollywood legends. During pre-production, he agreed to take a pay cut of several $1,000,000 so the studio could afford to cast Al Pacino. He would repeat this gesture years later for The Replacements, taking a 90% pay cut to his salary so Gene Hackman could be cast. Then came The Matrix. Released in 1999, The Wachowskis' groundbreaking sci-fi film changed cinema forever. Reeves played Neo, a computer hacker who discovers that reality is a simulation controlled by machines. For the first film, he received $10 million upfront, plus a percentage of the box office. The film became a phenomenon, grossing over $460 million worldwide and becoming the highest-grossing Warner Brothers film of 1999. When combined with his back-end deal, Reeves earned approximately $35 million from the first movie alone. For the sequels, Reeves negotiated an even more lucrative deal. He received $15 million upfront for each film, plus 15% of the back-end profits. The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, both released in 2003, earned over $1.2 billion combined. Reeves's total earnings from the trilogy are estimated at around $250 million. But what he did with that money is what truly set him apart. Reeves felt that the special effects and costume design teams were the true heroes of the franchise. So he gave away a significant portion of his back-end points to those crews. According to reports, he forewent approximately $75 million so that dozens of crew members could receive bonuses. He also bought each member of the 12-man stunt team a custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle, worth upwards of $15,000 each. But just as his professional life was soaring, his personal life was about to face devastating tragedy. In 1998, Reeves met Jennifer Syme, an assistant to director David Lynch, at a party for his band Dogstar. They fell in love and soon were expecting a child. On December 24, 1999, while 8 months pregnant, Syme gave birth to their daughter, Ava Archer Syme Reeves. The baby was stillborn. The grief was unbearable. Reeves and Syme's relationship crumbled under the weight of their loss, and they separated several weeks later, though they remained close friends. Then, on April 2, 2001, just 18 months after losing their daughter, Syme was killed in a car accident. She was 28 years old. Reeves served as a pallbearer at her funeral. She was buried next to their daughter. In a 2006 interview with Parade magazine, Reeves opened up about his losses. "I miss being a part of their lives and them being part of mine. I wonder what the present would be like if they were here. Grief changes shape, but it never ends. People have a misconception that you can deal with it and say, 'It's gone and I'm better.' They're wrong. When the people you love are gone, you're alone." Despite his pain, Reeves kept working. He starred in Constantine in 2005, A Scanner Darkly in 2006, and The Day the Earth Stood Still in 2008. But the hits became less frequent. By the early 2000s, critics began questioning whether his star power had faded. The turning point came in 2013 with 47 Ronin, a $175 million samurai epic that became one of the biggest box office disasters in Hollywood history. The film earned just $151 million worldwide, meaning it lost tens of millions of dollars. Reviews were brutal, and the production had been plagued by reshoots and creative conflicts. Released on Christmas Day against The Wolf of Wall Street and The Hobbit, it never stood a chance. Some declared that Keanu Reeves' career was over. They were wrong. Just 1 year later, in 2014, Reeves starred in John Wick, a low-budget action film about a retired assassin seeking vengeance after criminals kill his dog. The film was made for just $20 million by first-time directors Chad Stahelski and David Leitch, both former stuntmen. Studios weren't interested, and Lionsgate only picked it up because they believed it could be profitable on home video. For his role, Reeves accepted a salary of just $1 to $2 million, far below his usual rate, but he also negotiated an ownership stake in the franchise. John Wick was a revelation. The film grossed $86 million worldwide and received overwhelmingly positive reviews. Audiences were captivated by its stylish action, intricate world-building, and Reeves's committed performance. The actor had undergone months of intensive training in martial arts and tactical firearms to prepare for the role, performing most of his own stunts. The film spawned a franchise that has now grossed over $1 billion worldwide across 4 installments. John Wick, Chapter 4, released in 2023, earned $440 million alone, making it the franchise's most successful entry. Reeves' salary grew with each installment. He reportedly earned $15 million for Chapter 4, plus his ongoing ownership stake. But perhaps more importantly, the John Wick franchise reminded the world why they loved Keanu Reeves in the first place. His dedication to his craft, his humility, and his genuine kindness had never wavered. Throughout his career, Reeves has been known for his extraordinary generosity. He runs a private foundation that supports children's hospitals and cancer research, though he refuses to attach his name to it. "I don't like to attach my name to it," he told Ladies' Home Journal. I just let the foundation do what it does. His sister Kim battled leukemia for a decade, and Reeves served as her caregiver during her illness, sitting with her during painful treatments and supporting her through recovery. Stories of Reeves's kindness have become legendary. He has been photographed sharing food with homeless individuals on the streets of Los Angeles. He gives up his seat on the subway. He treats crew members as equals, learning everyone's names and thanking them personally. After filming John Wick, Chapter 4, he gifted his stunt team custom Rolex watches worth $10,000 each. In 2019, Reeves confirmed his relationship with visual artist Alexandra Grant, marking his first public romance since Jennifer Syme's death nearly 2 decades earlier. The couple had been friends since 2009, collaborating on books before their relationship turned romantic. For Reeves, who had spent so many years alone with his grief, finding love again was a testament to his resilience. Beyond the John Wick franchise, Reeves has continued to diversify his work. In 2019, he voiced Duke Kaboom, a Canadian stuntman action figure in Pixar's Toy Story 4. That same year, he made a memorable cameo as himself in the romantic comedy Always Be My Maybe, playing an exaggerated, philosophical version of himself that delighted audiences. In 2020, he finally returned to one of his most beloved roles, reprising Ted Logan in Bill and Ted Face the Music, alongside his longtime friend Alex Winter, more than 30 years after the original film. He has also expanded into other creative ventures. In 2021, Reeves co-authored the comic book series BRZRKR with writer Matt Kint, which became a bestseller and is being adapted into both a film and an animated series for Netflix. He co-founded Arch Motorcycle Company in 2011, designing and selling custom motorcycles. And he continues to perform with his band, with Dogstar reuniting in 2023 for their first tour in over 2 decades. Today, Keanu Reeves stands as one of the most beloved figures in Hollywood, not because of his box office numbers, but because of who he is as a person. He has experienced unimaginable tragedy, the loss of his father, his best friend, his girlfriend, and his daughter. He has weathered career lows that would have ended most actors. Yet through it all, he has remained humble, kind, and dedicated to his craft. In 2020, the New York Times ranked him as the 4th greatest actor of the 21st century. In 2022, Time magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world. When asked about money in an interview, Reeves once said, "Money is the last thing I think about. I could live on what I've already made for the next few centuries." His net worth is estimated at $380 million. But he lives simply without the entourage or extravagance typical of Hollywood stars. He rides the subway, he chats with strangers, he treats everyone he meets with respect. The story of Keanu Reeves is not one of overnight success or easy triumphs. It's a story of a man who has been knocked down repeatedly by life and has gotten back up every time. A man who has used his platform and his fortune to help others rather than glorify himself. A man who, despite everything he has lost, still believes in kindness. As he once said, "I'm at a stage of my life where I want to give back. I want to be of service." And that, perhaps more than any blockbuster franchise or award, is what makes Keanu Reeves truly extraordinary. In an industry often defined by ego and excess, he remains refreshingly genuine, a reminder that true greatness lies not in what you accumulate, but in what you give away.